What your thoughts control is how you feel about what you attract, you know. Hey guys, hello, welcome back. It's Maya. Today I'm going to be answering a question about the law of attraction and fate. Leah asked, how do we know the difference between something we attracted via the law of attraction and something that we planned prior to incarnating to serve as a source of growth or soul evolution? This is a really beautiful question. You know, the law of attraction it has been really popular over the past couple years, and I think it's really cool and really empowering for people to start to learn to work with their vibration. And I think the law of attraction is of benefit in the sense that it helps us to focus on that which we would like more of in our lives, rather than focusing on what we don't want or what isn't going right. So in that sense, I think the law of attraction is beneficial. However, my personal belief is that almost everything that we experience in our lives is fate. It's pretty much impossible to attract anything that isn't in alignment with our life plan. If we have fate, for example, to end up in a certain career, like let's say that our destiny based on our soul evolution in this lifetime is to serve by being a pediatrician, like that's how our soul wanted to express in this lifetime, was to be a doctor or medical professional that works with children. But maybe we get here and for some reason we're really attracted to being a rock star or something like that. Maybe our ego's like, yeah, that's really great. No matter how good of a manifester that you are, or even if you do everything perfectly for the law of attraction, everything, you know, all the affirmations, visualizations, everything to draw towards you that rock star career or whatever it is, that it won't happen, because your fate is actually to be that pediatrician. And you can really apply that to anything. Where the law of attraction works really well is when we align what we are trying to attract with what our destiny already is. And that's where you can see miraculous results. Let's say that you were meant to be that pediatrician and that's what you signed up for, and then you start trying to attract that to you. You start focusing on that, helping people, helping kids, curing disease, and so maybe it was part of your destiny to be a pediatrician anyway, but then you start using the law of attraction to draw more and more of that energy to you, and then instead of being a pediatrician, you end up finding the cure for cancer, or you end up being the best pediatrician in the whole world. Probably as much as about 90% of everything that occurs in our life is predestined. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear that because, you know, it can be really empowering to think that we can totally change the course of events. I follow a lot of near-death accounts and things like that, and people say that they, you know, they die and they go to the other side, and that when they're with their spirit guide, maybe their spirit guide is saying, you know, you need to go back to your life on earth. And a lot of people say that they're shown the next 50 or 60 years of their lives when they're in the higher realms during their near-death experience, and then that their lives actually end up playing out just as they saw them. It's my sense that things are pretty well planned before we come here. Probably about 90% of things are pre-planned. Sometimes it might look like somebody is attracting something miraculously using the law of attraction, but really it's probably the case that they were tuned into something that was already part of their path. I think where we do have free will is we have a lot of free will in terms of how we respond to the predestined events in our lives, how we feel about the events, and whether or not we make the most out of that opportunity. It may be guaranteed that we're going to face a certain relationship challenge in our lives or something like that, because that's part of our life plan, that we're going to meet a special someone and that person's going to change our lives, for example. So that could be fate or destiny, but where the free will comes in is like, how much do you enjoy that time that you have with that person? How deeply fulfilling is it? How much do you learn? Like, do you go into that relationship and you soak up every single bit that you can, Or does it kind of pass you by and leave you afterwards thinking, what was that? What even happened? I think that there's some free will in terms of like how long things last. Like it might be your destiny to get a particular job or something like that, or a particular relationship, but there might be some free will or leeway. Is this going to last 2 months, just the bare minimum for you to learn that lesson? Or are you really going to put your heart and soul into it, see the most and make the most out of that opportunity, and maybe it lasts 2 years or something like that? But you guys, I really believe that most things are fate. And I hope that this belief can be healing for everyone, because I think that we can really beat ourselves up if certain things don't manifest the way that we wanted or that we had hoped. Actually, it's probably because it's not really a part of our life plan, and in that way we can kind of forgive ourselves. In most circumstances, fate is greater than the law of attraction. I would say every single time. Unless you're doing some really sophisticated work with like changing timelines or stuff like that, you're pretty much going to be experiencing fate. I don't necessarily think that the law of attraction as it is taught is really that effective. I don't think that repeating something mentally over and over again, or thinking positive thoughts about something over and over again, or repeating mantras over and over again, I don't think that those things will help us to attract whatever it is into our life. And I also don't think that the law of attraction can be used for selfish purposes. I think a lot of people are trying to manifest like a brand new car or money or things like that. And how magical that we are, it depends a lot on our intention. So if you're trying to manifest money so that you can give it to the homeless, maybe you've got a little bit more magic behind that. But if you're just trying to manifest money because you want a new Gucci bag or something like that, I think that the law of attraction, like, it's a magical energy that's allowed to move through us. Higher beings work with us to make that possible, but it works best when our intentions are aligned with something higher. Really, I think the way that we actually attract things, I don't think it has very much to do with our thoughts or our vision boards or what crystals we're wearing or stuff like that. I think that it has a lot to do with who we are. We attract what's a match for our soul, not what's a match for our personality, our appearance, our mind patterns. Usually, like, what you're gonna see appearing in your reality, it's that match for your presence itself, for the real embedded sort of cellular energetic presence of your etheric body and your soul and the most embodied aspects of yourself, rather than of your thoughts. What your thoughts control is how you feel about what you attract, and that's incredibly powerful as well. I don't really think that thoughts attract things. I think that our sense of who we are, I think that our actual enormous aura that's defined by who we are as a soul and our soul's presence, that can draw certain things to us. What our thoughts do is they impact how we feel on a moment-to-moment basis. Our thoughts influence what we believe about what shows up in our reality, but I don't think our thoughts influence what shows up in our reality. They just influence what we think that we're seeing. Does that make sense? Yeah, our thoughts influence what we think we're seeing, but they don't actually influence as much as we might think what is physically appearing around us. That there's a higher order and plan to those sorts of things. if you guys have enjoyed this video, please feel free to come back any Tuesday or Friday for more videos here on the Maya's Dream channel. So thank you again, and namaste.